Hey, afternoon news. I'm Angie.
Kelly Duffy.
A lot of news coming out of Pittsburgh this week. Probably the biggest story that's made not only statewide news, but national and even international news. The Facebook post made by Wendy Bell from Channel 4.
And it caused quite an uproar, to say the least. And there was even a Facebook page put together because many of them were calling for her to be held accountable for what was going on.
So she's recently apologized, and then the station has gone so far as to apologize as well. And now the question becomes, is everyone satisfied now, or does still more need to be done?
Absolutely. And joining us on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline right now is Rachael Webster. She actually put the Facebook post up, Demand WTAE Hold Wendy Bell Accountable is the name of it. Welcome to the show, Rachael. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, why did you feel that you needed to put this up there? What was it? Now, you're a teacher and you obviously saw her post. What was it that offended you so much about it?
Well, there was some blatant racist language, and then there was some pretty subtle racist language as well in the post. And I responded to the post, and then I posted on WTAE on their Facebook as well, both of which were ignored and eventually deleted. Wendy Bell deleted my post, blocked me from her page. So, and I was not inappropriate. I was pretty well like, this is not an appropriate thing to say, along those lines. I don't remember word for word, but I certainly wasn't swearing or anything like that. So I called the station and got kind of blown off by them as well, at which point my frustration kind of peaked, and I knew some other people's posts had been deleted and they had been blocked from Wendy's page as well, which is what made me put the page together.
There are reports that say that you had the opportunity to speak directly with Wendy Bell and then you turned those down. Are those accurate?
When I called the station, they said, would you like to speak to Wendy, or would you like to speak to management? And at that point, since I had been blocked from Wendy's page and she was not responsive to me, I really wanted to find out what WTAE's stance on things were. It wasn't that I didn't feel that it was going to be a productive conversation to just say, why did you post this? I wanted to know what the station's feelings about her stating it as a representative were. I wasn't like calling them to say that they needed to do anything in particular at that point. I just wanted to know what their stance was. So were you able then to speak with them, and what were you hoping would be accomplished if you did and when you talked to them? When I spoke to them, I hoped that they would let me know that they were working on something or that it was being reviewed. Basically everything I asked them, they told me no comment. So they said that they were aware of the post, no comment, and that was it.
At what point did you decide that it was necessary to start a page titled Demand TAE Hold Wendy Bell Accountable?
It was after I got all the no comments and that the posts were deleted. And I know that I felt silenced, and that numerous other people I had seen posting that they or their friends or my friends had said that they had also been removed. And I just felt like it was maybe nice. It would be a good place for everyone to just discuss like what could be done, if anything, and just to show numbers that not everyone. Since Wendy's page specifically was filled with support and only support, I thought that it was important for them to be able to see there were numbers as well that did not support her statement.
What was your reaction to that there were so many people that were openly, publicly in support of her?
I was surprised and not surprised. What I think that a lot of people saw the edited version of the post and were not aware of how to see the original posting. And so I think that many people maybe were a little blindsided and not understanding where the upset was coming from. But I think I was really surprised at a lot of the vitriol that was coming from people. And I have to say that I continued once the page went up, and honestly, I went to bed at night and there were like 25 people on it, and I got up the next morning and there were hundreds. And once it got picked up by the AP, and at that point, then Wendy Bell's supporters started coming, and it became pretty overwhelming, and there was a lot of really, really unkind things said, which I found surprising. I know that there's a lot of racial issues in Pittsburgh still to this day, but just the fact that people were willing to, with their name right out there, use racial slurs, tell people that they had no right to be offended, and if they're not, and also like the blatant misunderstanding of what freedom of speech is, because everyone continuously
Rachel,
said,
you know what? We only have about a minute left.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. No, obviously, wish we had more time. But are you satisfied with an apology that has been issued? Is that enough for you?
I think that a really good outcome would be for Wendy to go through some diversity training and learn about inherent biases and systemic racism, and possibly use her position of influence to educate the public. Her apology read to many people as I'm sorry you were offended, not an I'm sorry for what I said. And I'm not saying that she needs to be terminated or anything along those lines. That's not my decision to make. They should follow their social media policy on that. But I do think that if they keep her on, that she should be required to go through diversity training, and it would be a benefit to the community if she could use her position to help change some of these people that are so willing to be publicly racist.
All right. Rachel, thank you so much for sharing your views and thoughts on this. Rachael Webster, who put up the Facebook page, WTAE Hold Wendy Bell Accountable, joining us on the Disk Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline.
KDKA News Time is 5:45. Now time for that AAA traffic on